The Blind Potter. This film has been intentionally edited to include audio descriptions throughout, providing accessible narration for individuals who are blind or visually impaired. A man sits on a chair inside a pottery studio. An interview is about to begin. Above the man, a wooden shelf holds small jars of ceramic glazes. Larger buckets of glaze are stacked neatly to his right, and an industrial-sized sink is positioned directly behind him. He is wearing a black shirt that reads, Ceramics Diva.
Hello? Do I say hello? I don't know.
You can say it whenever you want. Yeah.
I mean, I'd be like cheer squares, but we're not doing that. Okay, different. My name is Don Katz. I'm here in my pottery studio in Los Angeles.
A mound of clay spins in slow motion on a potter's wheel. Don's hands glide over the clay. His fingers rise and fall as the clay moves beneath them.
There's something meditative about working with clay. Like any creative practice does a lot of good things for people, but clay, I get lost in what I'm doing. When you touch the clay and it moves the way you want it to, it just feels extremely magical.
Don leaves his home and steps into the backyard. His white cane guides him towards the studio. The yard is adorned with bright green ferns and well-manicured bushes.
My blindness is not something I wish to happen to anyone. I've been put in a role that I would not say is something I chose, but I do realize that I'm the first blind person most people will ever meet. And I want people to understand that I am the same as everyone else. I just experience the world in my own way.
Don enters his pottery studio. The walls are white, and the cabinets and shelves are made of a light beige birchwood. A large arched window dominates one of the walls. Two pottery wheels are positioned beneath the window.
And why people don't think blind people can do pottery, people don't think blind people can do half the shit we do. That's a whole, most people don't think blind people are capable of a lot because I think they don't know if they went blind how they would live their life again. Everyone wants the same thing. Health, happiness, and for me, I think it's very important to have purpose. And it took me a long time to find a new purpose in this world.
Don stands in front of a window. He takes a lump of clay from a plastic bag and measures its weight. He then kneads the clay with his hands to prepare it for the wheel.
So I have a talking scale.
Hello.
Hello.
It's ready.
It's ready. Okay, so this is already 1 pound, but I know that. But so I'm working on what I call blishware or blind-friendly dishware. For me as a blind person, it's just easier to eat off plates that have higher sides. So as when I eat, or blind people in general, we use a different systems to eat. We either use what's called a pusher, which is a piece of bread, and use a fork to kind of push it against and that. But I like to create these high-sided plates so I can just push it against the side of the plate. So it comes up, and so it's not on the table is the plan. Every other blind person eats differently. Some people are better at it than others. I've been told I'm okay. I'm not a messy eater, but it's just something I try to do.
Don drops the clay onto the potter's wheel and begins manipulating the clay as it spins beneath his fingers. He uses a large wooden dowel to flatten the clay until it forms a thin slab that is nearly as wide as the wheel head.
So I was born in Israel till I was 3 years old, and then my family moved to the United States, and I ended up in Orange County and grew up there till I left for college. I originally went to college at San Francisco State, where I studied restaurant management, and then I went to New York University to pursue a master's in food studies. I finished my degree in restaurant management in 1998. I was a restaurant manager in wine buyer for a few years. Wasn't sure what the next steps were. Being a restaurant manager is a lot of work and it's very tough and time consuming. Meanwhile, my twin brother, Ron, was going to go get his PhD in neuroscience in New York. And the question was, do I go or not? And what was I going to go there? I didn't know what my plans were. I had learned about this program called Food Studies at NYU, where you get to study the social, cultural, historical aspect of food. I was like, this sounds interesting. I was enjoying life. New York was great. This 25-year-old hot young gay boy doing his thing, waiting tables at Aqua V, excited to see what the future was going to bring, was really looking forward to what was going to happen with college, because I loved what I was studying, to be quite honest. I thought it was great. I was excited because we were about to take a class called Food and Performance, where they were going to look at restaurants as a form of theater. I had just started that second year of grad school, and 2 days before 9/11, I'm in a coma due to bacterial meningitis.
Now that the clay is perfectly flat, Don uses a wooden tool to push on the outside edge of the slab as it spins. As he pushes, the walls begin to rise, creating a high-sided plate. He then uses his fingers to measure the height of the sides.
And so we're going to use our handy-dandy tool, and we're going to literally just push in the clay. The way I know when I'm done with this is I'm looking to be able to put my fingers, all 4 fingers here, so I know exactly how far I want to go in. So see, this finger is still pushing off of it, and you can also tell we want this to be as high as this finger is also, so that's kind of how I'm figuring this out. But you can tell, like from here, I'm using 4 fingers, 3.5 fingers really. I know from experience that I kind of want 3.5 to 4 fingers of thickness on it, because we're not done shaping it. So now we have a tall cylinder wall, but we want to round it a little bit on the inside. Now we're trying to push. This is going to be pushing out to make an indent, like a bowl-shaped side of the form, and we're going to use this on the outside to kind of keep it together, and we're going to try to do it slowly. But you can tell, hopefully, we're starting to get this rounded shape on the inside. Now we got it. So the rim, this transition is perfect on the bottom now. So now you can see it's 3 fingers up here. We have a high-sided plate or blishware. We have a nice curve on the inside, and we need to get rid of all the water on the inside so it dries a little faster. Use our sponge. I'm going to do the same thing on the rim. We're going to slow it down. Oops, very nice. We're going to put in the corner there, and this is now done for the next step of the process.
Don takes his finished plate off the wheel and places it down on a drying rack. He then uses a small trimming tool to remove excess clay from the bottom of the plate.
Summer was ending. I remember going to, I think, a PJ Harvey concert the week before. I went to my first nude beach, had a great time. Only my ass was blistered from the burning. Otherwise, the front was fine. I had dinner with my roommate and her mother. That night, I woke up with the worst headache/earache that I had ever experienced. Mostly, I remember being in the emergency room, I couldn't hold up my own head. It was really like, I kept just like putting my head on my roommate's shoulder because I was in so much pain. The doctor was like, you have an ear infection, here's what we're gonna give you some Tylenol with codeine, this should solve your problem. So they spent Saturday hanging out in bed watching the US Open, Sunday morning was still not feeling very good. My roommate had went out to get a thermometer to check my temperature. Meanwhile, my twin went on his way to come see me at the apartment. And from what I understand, the story goes, because I remember none of this, I had projectile vomited. I was told to go lie down in my bedroom, and I had wedged myself in between the wall and my bed. I went into septic shock and they heard a big thump. They called the ambulance. The ambulance came. It took 6 ambulance attendants to restrain me. They thought I was having a drug overdose, even though I was not on drugs. They sent me to the hospital. They realized I had meningitis rather quickly. They sedated me from the convulsions. I did not wake up for 2 days from the sedation. They had already started antibiotics to take care of the bacterial meningitis. Finally, they did an MRI. Within 2 hours of the MRI, I was in emergency surgery to clear the infection from the meningitis. Then my central nervous system shut down and I lost all body function.
Don sits at a table and adds watered-down clay, known as slip, to the edges of his high-sided plate.
And then I was in a coma for a good long 3.5 weeks, I would say. And this is all during September 11th. So my mom actually flew it on 9/11 and watched the World Trade Center collapse from the taxi. My dad had flown in on 9/10. They're trying to get to see their son in a coma in Manhattan when the rest of the world is collapsing. Also, I think there was a big concern that I wouldn't get the medical care I needed because of what happened at 9/11. They thought that the hospital would be covered or needed by patients from the World Trade Center because I was in Midtown Manhattan during this experience. Meanwhile, what I've been told is there was a bunch of missing person signs everywhere. My twin brother's also in Manhattan at this time. So it was my twin, my mother, my father, all in Manhattan, experiencing Don Katz in a coma and the world falling apart. And they told my family, this is what is the result of his bacterial meningitis. Good luck.
Don carefully wraps a layer of masking tape around the outside of his plate.
Okay, I think we made it around at least once. And this is when I let the perfectionist in me say, fuck off and relax, because only you're noticing these specifics. Okay. I use my phone.
3:18 p.m.
Ignore that.
Your passcode is 6.
Open way around. Okay, so you can hear my phone talks to me. There's the brilliance of technology. It has made my life a lot easier, even though I have a love-hate relationship with technology. I have very little patience for it sometimes. So what we're gonna do is, you can tell,
Way around. Description.
these buckets are all glazed. I mean, you see there's labels here for me. Obviously I can't see that. But you'll see little stickers right there. It's called a weigh tag. And I have this for lots of things. I have my spices labeled this way, my clothes labeled this way. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scan this and it's gonna tell me what glaze it is to make sure I'm choosing the right glaze.
Red. Description. Ready to scan. Ready to scan.
Now we just have to find where we scan it. Oh, there we go.
Alabaster satin.
Okay, so it told me it's alabaster satin, which is what I'm looking for. Okay,
Way around.
now we're going to turn this off.
Don dips his plate into a bucket of glaze. Once dried, he removes the masking tape to reveal a strip of bare clay surrounded by white glaze.
So meningitis is an infection of the brain and spinal cord. My meningitis most likely did start with an ear infection, but it was started by pneumococcal meningitis, which is a very rare form of bacteria that causes strep throat. As well as I just say meningitis is just bad luck. Simply, it's flu-like symptoms that have to be caught really quickly. And only now that I've had meningitis and understand the symptoms, a lot of it is stiff neck, headaches, fever. When I woke up from the coma, I cannot tell you, because that's rather confusing to know exactly what that date is, because from what I understand, I wasn't communicating, I didn't speak. I also didn't know who I was. So that was like, when they talk about not knowing who you are, they ask you, what's your name? Who's the president? What day it is? I was like, I don't know, and I don't care. And I also talk like, right here. Today, everything was really, really, really tough. I was on a feeding tube for 3.5 months. I had a neck brace because I couldn't hold up my own head at that time. I still was on my feeding tube. I was full of drugs to knock me out because I got agitated really easily. I remember I did want to give up at one point, and I was totally paralyzed still at this point. And I asked my brother to kill me. He does not remember this. I do. He obviously said no because I'm still here. I had a little plan for it, but I did not do it. So when you're in the hospital, you get a call button. My goal was I was going to try to wrap it around my neck, but I wasn't coordinated enough to do that, and fall over the edge of the bed. But I wasn't even coordinated enough to do that. And when you are in the situation that I was in, you have guardrails on your bed. So if you move to the left, you cannot fall out. So they are keeping you there on purpose.
In archival footage, we see Don in the hospital after waking up from his coma. He is in a wheelchair with a large neck brace. A female nurse places a small white therapy dog on his lap.
So when I started rehab, I was strictly a vegetable. I could not hold up my own head. I was permanently wheelchair bound. I was still on a feeding tube. I had very little motor coordination. I was transferred to a rehabilitation hospital because my family did not want to give up on me. And then I'm there in New York for another 6 weeks of rehabilitation in New York City. Physical therapy is very interesting. They don't take you to physical therapy unless they think you can progress. The big goal in New York was just getting to the point that I could get into a wheelchair and transfer from a wheelchair to a car and get on a plane, where my mom is a doctor here in California, where she felt more comfortable getting me to have rehabilitation here, where I did spend another 2.5 months in rehabilitation in California. So in about 6 months in the hospital total.
Don swings open the kiln door, revealing a fresh batch of his signature blishware, their glaze still warm to the touch. One by one, he lifts each piece with care and sets them gently on a table.
So the rehabilitation process, it was horrible. I was in so much discomfort. I don't know if I want to say a lot of pain, just really uncomfortable. I also don't think I knew how sick I was. I remember learning how to tie my shoes for the first time, and my mom was coming to visit me from California, and I was so excited to show her what I could do. That was like the biggest fucking deal. So when they teach you how to walk, like to stand on my own 2 feet was something I couldn't still do really independently. And there was a modified walker, and I was able to support myself with the modified walker for a whole 2 seconds. And that was like an amazing day. Like that was tears to everyone's eyes that I could be able to do that. And I left the hospital. I was able to walk 150 feet with a walker. It took 30 minutes. And that's what I could do for the day. And I left the hospital after 6 months in a wheelchair. The fact that I'm walking is supposedly miraculous recovery. Like my family was told, instead of sending me to rehab, I was supposed to find a nursing home. And if you don't make progress in rehabilitation, you are kicked out rather quickly. So it's all like you have to make progress.
In his kitchen, Don prepares a meal. He cuts cauliflower and slides a tray of chicken into the oven. Shortly after, he enjoys the first of many meals that will be eaten from his blishware line.
Going through my rehabilitation, I was not allowed to do anything for myself for years. I had to move out so I could wash dishes. My parents do not ask me to wash dishes. They don't ask me to do anything. This is a very interesting experience. The world expects nothing of me. And that is very difficult. I really struggle with that. Like I grew up with serious expectations, and I have a lot of expectations of myself. So, but no, like the fact that I'm just kicking and living, people, you just exist and watch TV all day, that's fine, but no, it's not enough for me. I'm left out of the world. Strictly that. Most of this world is sighted and visual, and I do not get to participate in the world. Ever since this happened to me, all I want is to have a life back. Slowly, it's here. I have my life back. When I first moved back to LA in 2016 to discover the next step, I wasn't sure what my purpose or goal was going to be. I have too much of a need or drive or want to find something that would bring purpose to my life. And pottery has brought me more than I can be thankful for. I think 25-year-old Don would be very proud of 48-year-old Don, because I overcame my paralysis. I adjusted to living as an independent blind person. I discovered new passions and hobbies to find fulfillment in life. And when I first got sick, it was really about focusing on just getting back on my feet. Literally, if I remember what it was like, I'm going back to being in my hospital bed thinking what my life would be from this point, where I was so lost and wondering what's going to be of my future. I would say, motherfucker, you managed to make an amazing life for yourself, because that's all I've ever really wanted, was just to have a life back. And so when I got sick, it was like, where's my life gonna be? And I would say he would be very proud of what I've been able to accomplish, and I'm there now. And I'm very happy with what kind of life I've created for myself, because I'm a big believer in the power of Don and make life what you want it to be. And I'm lucky I have the fortune and support to help me make the life I want.
Directed and produced by Derek Bannar. Produced by Justine Mastro. Audio description read by J.C. O'Connell. Original music by Justine Mastro. You can see all of Don's work and learn more about his journey on his website, theblindpotter.com. This film is dedicated to the memory of Moshe Katz, 1946 to 2025.